Algebras, and what we are going to do today is we are going to go over the Chapter 3, Lesson 4 review, but we are going to do it through Delta Math this time. So what I did was I created an assignment for you in Delta Math that goes over all of the types of questions I'm going to ask on your Chapter 3 Delta Math quiz. Okay, so there are usually more questions in a review than on the actual quiz, and that's what we're going to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm using my student account. Of course, yours will be your AECSD account, but I'm logging into Delta Math right now, okay, under my student account, which is my personal email. And here we are. And for Algebra 1, I have an upcoming assignment of a Chapter 3 quiz review. So I need to take that. Now notice what's different about the Chapter 3 quiz review than our usual assessment is that I can actually see how many questions I have when I'm looking right here, and I can see the type of question I'm being asked to do. So these are going to be the types of questions that you're going to be asked for on your quiz, on your Chapter 3 quiz, but you have 5 of each of these so that you can practice, then 3 of each of these so that you can practice, and then 8 of these so that you can practice. So here we go. Function and relation mapping diagrams. We're going to get 5 of these. So this is going to help us practice, and we're going to get instant feedback on these to know if we're right or not in preparation for our quiz. So fill in the blanks below in order to justify whether or not the mapping shown represents a function. Well, we all know in getting ready for this quiz that a function has one x value used. If an x value is used more than once, I stated that incorrectly. If an x value is used more than once, then it's not a function. But if each x value is used only once, then it is a function. So these are my x values because they're before my y values. And I know that because the butt end of the arrow is here while the actual arrow is facing this end. I don't care if my y's get used more than once, only if my x's do. So this is a function. So we want to make sure we fill in the right pieces of this sentence below. The mapping diagram above, and notice we've got a little drop down, represents a function since there is one number in the input where there are only one mapping to set B. There is one number in set A where there is only one mapping. Since for each number in the input, there is only one mapping to the output. There we go. That makes much more sense. Okay, so I have to do the first one right here. Okay, each number in the input, for each number in the input, there is only one mapping to the output. And submit. I got it right. Okay, that's what we want to do. Next problem gives me another one in this section, right? So again, we have a mapping, and now this time, how many x's do we have? We only have 3, but there are 4 arrows leaving. That means this is not a function. One of my x values, -1, is being used more than once. So the mapping diagram above does not represent a function since for each number in the input, there are multiple mappings to the, B is the output. There it is. So just double check, make sure set A is your input, set B is your output, the way that you have those, and then submit. And again, my answer is not correct. What do I have wrong? For each number in the input, there are multiple mappings to the output. It does not represent a function. There is one number in the input where there are multiple. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Very nice. I got it correct. Next. One for each. So the above represents a function where for each number in the input, there is only one mapping to the output. Getting this down. Getting this down, Pat. They have funkier wording than I do. 1x. X value gets used more than, X value only gets used once. X value only gets used once. Keep going. Notice there's 5 of these, right? The mapping diagram above, oh man, -3 gets used more than once. So this is not a function since there is one number in the input, set A input, where there are multiple mappings to the output. That's what I put before, yes? Awesome. That's what I put before. We got that right. Okay, and again. Uh-oh, 7 gets used more than once. Not a function, one of your X values. So one input, multiple mappings to the output. There we go. Now we got it down pat, which way to go for function and which way to go for not a function. I think that's probably the only difficult ones as far as that goes, because these are the only ones that make a sentence out of it. But I like it because it explains why this is a function or this isn't a function. Now we'll go on to the next section because we are complete with this section. So see how next problem, congratulations, I've done the required in this section. So I move on to the next section. Which set of ordered pairs does not represent a function? Meaning an X value is used more than once. And I'm looking at only X values. So look at this first multiple choice right here. So -6, 3, 5, and 9. No X values repeated, so this is a function, so it can't be my correct answer. And now I look, X is a 9, X is a -4, a -9, a +9. There is an X value repeated. That is not a function, and that's what I was looking for. So an X value repeated, and I love that it then explains it to you. So next problem in this section, here we go. Now don't forget, you also have help videos and an example if you want to see. Then you can go back to the original problem. Which set of ordered pairs does not represent a function? And yet again, I'm looking at only the X's. So right here, I see -5 and -5, both X values. So an X value got used more than once. That is not a function. Okay. This one, we're looking for the one set of ordered pairs where X's are not repeated. So we're looking for the function. And look, it can't be this one because -6 is used more than once. Can't be this one because 2 is used more than once. And it can't be this one because 2 is used more than once as an X value. So it has to be this, but let's just double check. -8, +6, +9, +7. There we go. Okay, moving along. So again, representing a function. So again, I'm looking for X values not being repeated. And it looks like right here, -2, -9, 7, and -7, not repeated. There's my function. One more in this section. Which set of ordered pairs represents a function? That would be the last one. Yep, the last one. There we go. So next section, here we go. Okay, determine whether this graph represents a function. Is this a function or not a function? And submit your answer. Okay, so this one shouldn't be too bad. And again, a bunch of these, this is a cube root function. So you probably want to be able to identify them as you go as well, since that's part of this quiz is going to be, I love the way they do that vertical line. Isn't that great? Since that's going to be part of this quiz too. We don't have X values repeated, so it's still a function. Even though it's funky and it's not one of our types, we don't have X values repeated. Okay, here we go. Cube root again, no X values repeated. This vertical line test thing is cool, huh? That's what you're thinking in your head, though. Is a vertical line. Whoa! Okay. X values repeated all over the place, right? This is not a function. They switched it up on me, by the way, on the bottom. That's not a function. Look at that. Whoa. Lots of repeated. Next section. Okay. So here's where I'm going to use my handy dandy graphing calculator. There is a calculator tool up here too. So you've got all this that you can look at, calculator tool. Okay. Calculator tool. Nope. Never mind. That's just to type in. That's this. Use this one. This one's better anyway. Okay, so I got my handy dandy calculator for me if I want to type anything in, and it looks like I need to plug in an x value of -6 here. So I'm going to replace this x with -6. So it starts with -3 and then times -6 end parenthesis plus 5. So all you have to do is type that right in here, get an answer. So 23 should be my answer. That's what I want to submit here. And am I sure? And then it shows me the work of doing that right here. Now, again, with the next problem, you can show an example so we can see that we're plugging this in and figuring it out, okay? And then go back to the original problem. I'm just plugging it right into my graphing calculator here. So the negative of 5 gets plugged in here for x, then plus 4. We should get -1 as our answer. And so right here, just type in -1 and submit. And yes, you have to double check first, but then it'll show you the work that you just did, which you should know, but hey, just in case you're confused. And again, over here, so one more time, the negative of 1 minus 2. So -3 is my answer. And I type that in and submit. So those are just questions on your quiz, by the way. You can do this. That's not challenging. You're just plugging in. Now we'll go on to the next section of these. Notice these are a little bit more challenging equations that you're plugging into. So now I have a negative out front of 9 squared. So I'm just typing 9 in anywhere I see an X, plus in parentheses 9 here, plus 13. And I get -59, okay. As long as I've typed this in, plugged the 9 in the spots just like this, that's my answer. So you've got a really great, I submitted, right? Did it tell me I was wrong? Wait, has it said anything? Am I sure this is my answer? Yes, right? What's going on right now? I'm going to give up. No. So this isn't me. Right? I had it right. There we go. Okay. Jeez. Next problem. This is that was a delta math issue, I guess. -4 times 6 squared, and then plus 5 times 6. So what do we get? -114. Got it? Okay. Type it in. There we go. Plugged it right in. Next. Okay, one more. We've got 4 times 7 squared. Remember, that goes first, right? So I get 49 and then times 4. Minus 7 times 7 in parentheses here, plus 7 at the end. So here we go. We get 154. Okay. 154 it is. And submit. There we go. We're done with that section. We're almost done with the whole review. What type of function is this? And it gives you multiple choices. How nice is that? You just need to be able to identify, and that was part of lesson 2 was you got to identify these different types of functions. This is a cubic function, the vertical snake up the graph. And then we've got an exponential function. So this has an asymptote right here and rapid increase. Exponential function. Then we've got another exponential. Hope they give me a little more mix. Parabola. There's a quadratic function, one of my faves, frowny face parabola. Right, here we go. Cool beans. Linear function, literally the word line is right in it. You guys can do this. I have faith and hope and trust. Another frowny face quadratic function. There we go. Another frowny face. Ooh, this is a square root function. Square root function. Right? Half of a parabola on its side. That's a square root function. And one more. Yet another linear function. This is a function because it's horizontal, right? So yeah, the y value repeats onto infinity, but we don't care about y values repeating for functions. So there it is. We are done with our review. Those are the questions that are on the quiz, guys. This will be a nice, easy quiz. You've got this. A very, very good thing. You've got this. So there we are. Look, 100% done. And that's all we need to do. Make sure we get all those questions done. Now I don't have any other upcoming assessments, so I'm good. Okay. Good luck, guys. Let me know if while you're doing this, you have a question on any of the things that come up in those Delta Math questions, because this is practice for the quiz that you're going to be assigned. So you'll also have, once this is done, you'll have the upcoming quiz. Okay, so once you finish this one, your quiz will be present for you. All right, good luck. Let me know if you need something. I'll be seeing you guys. Bye.